Hi, I'm Dr. M. Kamakshay, open source software evangelist and also a full stack developer. I use R Python for my full stack activity. I do create this kind of video tutorials to help my students as well as a couple of clients in software industry. I thought of creating a kind of series of video casts, not exactly the series, but a couple of video casts related to real-time data monitoring using Python. Python is an open source computing platform. I mean, I say platform because it has a big ecosystem by now, a very big community. Today we are living in a very peculiar situation. We are spending times in a global pandemic called COVID-19, and all of you might have witnessed the effect of COVID-19 on our lifestyles. There are a lot of changes in industry, especially in education and quite a few other industrial segments where everything is being done from the home. Simply we refer it to work from home kind of thing. So there is a lot of demand today for online technologies. I mean, there is the gap between the communicator and respondents when the audience is rising, and to fill the gap we need to depend on online technologies to communicate from one person to the other person, or maybe one to many, one to one, one to many, many to one, something like that. So I thought of there are a lot of there are a couple of recently I've observed a couple of companies which are making a huge amount of money by developing a couple of web applications to fill this gap. So I thought of figuring out that problem by using open source technologies like Python, maybe also using other programming languages which are absolutely free. We don't need to spend even a single rupee. These firms, they use all this open source technology and they make money. Now I thought, why can't I make a couple of videos to reason or maybe to explain as how to develop applications related to real-time connectivity. There also, this it's a very big concept, and I can keep on talk about the theory, but coming to the practice, in this video I'm going to show you how to I have a plan to create a series of web tutorials, online tutorials to demonstrate us how to develop video monitoring systems. How to develop software related to real-time connectivity kind of thing. This is my first video in which I'm going to talk about how to find out devices located within a local network, because I need to create a web application, a full scale. I may be able to reason or explain how to detect because to connect with any person within the network, we need to know their address, the address of the device. Through that address, we may be able to enter inside that machine. Provided that the client gives sufficient, privileges, or maybe, access. Grant the access to enter into their sphere of activity through the device. In this video I'm just going to demonstrate how to find out the IP addresses, or how to recognize the devices connected within the local area network, because I have a very small network in my home and it is so easy for me to demonstrate. So first I'm going to explain you how to find out the devices, and next I will open the Python and show you how to detect a particular device so that we can grant access or revoke access in future tutorials. It may be useful for me to extend my tutorials in the future, and I will also show you how to develop a small web application to get the device information into the web browser, because in network what it matters is all about web browser. So we'll be contacting or maybe connecting disconnections, all this, how these activities takes place between browser to browser. We simply refer to client. Okay, First, now let me show you my local area network in Windows. If you issue this command ipconfig, it will let you know all the devices connected in your, not all the devices, but a reasonable devices connected. And I have roughly some 10 devices connected within my local area network. All these devices will not be listed in this command prompt, or we call terminal in Windows. You see here I have a device. This is actually my own device. Okay, this is my own device, and this is also my own device. Okay, this is a local area connection, and there are a couple of other clients, local domain, something like that. So all these network adapters refers to one single computer. The address of the computer is 192.168.0.8. This is what is my, I'll show you what is this name of this device within no time. And these are all actually the different devices connected within all the devices. My mobile phones and other devices are not shown in this domain name kind of media. Okay, now so this is actually the very first step, so that you can acquaint with your own network. At least you will know what is the network address. This is what is the address which is useful for us to, what is this address? So the question is, how do I know the device information related to the IP address? By the way, we have two types of IP, IPv4, IPv6, and I'm not going to cover that concept neither in this video. So remember, this is the address which you would like to know, and there are also a couple of other, like here 192.168.0.8, 192.168.10.1 something, 192.32.1. So remember all these things. Now I'm going to open my ideally. See here I have Python ideally. In Python, how do we, there are quite a few packages. I still remember there's a package called LAN scan. I didn't install that in my computer. I'm in Windows, that's why probably I can show you how to install that when I'm in my Linux machine. Now we need to import two modules. They are not packages, two modules. One is subprocess, second one is what is that? You have a module called, one is subprocess, the other one is let me see that socket. Yes, so import socket, and then import, these are all modules. Okay, subprocess. And there is also another module called sh. It's not a module actually, I think it is a package. We can also track these IP addresses, and also, now anyway, so what is this IP address? So if I want to know what are the different IP addresses that are living in my computer, I can simply write it as subprocess dot I think ping, I guess. It's not ping actually, call, I guess. Okay, subprocess call, yes, subprocess call, and then we need to, the command is ping and then IP address. So now what happens, I take this IP address which I am boasting as my own address, and let me see what's going on. So it is nothing but pinging to my own address. So I'll take this, okay, there. And then see if I will be, I think I have to issue square brackets, because this is just going to be, these arguments are going to be a list for this particular command. So you see now Windows terminal opens and says 0. If it is 0, it simply means success. How do I know that? I just referred the documentation online. You can just go. If it is anything other than 0, maybe sometimes 1, or maybe we can see that suppose if I use 1, you see this is also going successfully, I'll get 0, and maybe I can go for 2. I think yeah, it is also going, I think that device is there in my LAN. Maybe I can go for 12. Yeah, unreachable. So here 12 is not available within the network, so which means it is beyond. Maybe I can go till some 10, I don't know. So now you see it is not reachable, but I think it exists, but it's not reachable, or at least we are able to make a tunnel to this address. Okay, anyway. Now what happens, instead of doing this repeatedly, we'll use first statement for I in range 1 to maybe some 20. No, I'll make 10, and then I'm using our code here. Make a response with sub process. I can simply copy this. I think I have to make make an address. Address is some 192 dot. I'll take till here, and then copy this. Plus in Python, if I use plus, it simply concatenates whatever follows that plus. String I. This I is coming from this range. So every time this for loop executes, the I replaces 1, 2, 3, 4 till 10, something like that. Now I'll make response, and this response is going to be sub process call, and I can replace this address as address. So every time address, this address is nothing but this variable. Okay, now I'll print something like if response is 0, we can simply print that address, and also is reachable. Okay, if that is not reachable, then else print address is not reachable. I don't know, I'm just trying to do this. Let me, now each and every time that for every I, it is going to start. I'll just take this side. You see here is reachable. 0.01 is reachable. Oh, I'm sorry. 0.1, I think. 0.3. Okay, I think address is going well, but there is a typo in my program. It's not reachable. 0.3 is so that device is not there in my my network. But 4 is reachable, which means that device is there. You see here the address is going well, but here the address is not printed well. 5 is reachable, 6 is reachable, and 7 is reachable. So all these devices, it is possible for me to reach these devices. As I told you, I have so many devices in my computer. 8 is not reachable, 9 is not reachable. Okay, so how many of these devices are reachable? 1 is reachable, 2 is reachable, 3 is not reachable. So which means this device is not there. So I have a typo in my let me, here it is not, it is dot actually. So that see, now I think we'll be able to get good response. See, now the address is okay. First 1 is reachable, 2 is reachable, I think 3 is not reachable as usual. Request timed out, and come on, it's taking too long time. So okay, go ahead. We know that 3 is not there. 3 is not reachable. 4 is reachable, yes. 5 is also reachable because it is pinging. 6 is also reachable. So this way we can just figure out what are the devices that are connected within the LAN. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to pick up particularly some of the devices. These are all the devices which I don't know. Okay, I don't know exactly what is this 192.168.0.01. This may be my computer, this may be my mobile phone, this may be a tab or whatever it is. Now what happens, I would like to pick up a particular device. Okay, suppose if I know that there is a device called this one, right? So I want to pick up this device and see what is this device. Now if that is the objective, we have a socket, okay, because I already imported socket module in my, it is there in my workspace. Now get host address, and if there are two commands. If I use address, I need to give the IP address, and then no saying host. Okay, let me see. It's, I think, yeah, this is actually my PC, okay. And now let me go for this one. Now this one, what is this? I will try to know what is this address. Okay, this is also my own PC, but this time I have a different name. This is, I think, perhaps local address, and this is not the local address, this is the domain name. It's my own, my computer. This is the name of my, it refers to name of my computer, it refers to localhost, which means it's going to the client, not the machine. Okay, now I think there is one more address here, 01. Let's see what is this address. 01. I think it is not there. Yes, get address info failed. So this 01 will figure out it. Oh, I think there is a typo in my. Okay, nothing. That is not a big mistake. Yeah, it is also my own PC. And then what are the, yeah, there is one more address. They're all my own PC because don't worry, they all refers to only one single, network adapter. That is why it is giving the same name. They're all, these addresses, all of them refers to one single computer. You see, all of them. Now suppose if I would like to know what is the host name of this address, we have a particular command called socket. Socket get host name. You see here, name. Now I have to, can I use this? I don't know. I think yeah, it's the host name of the, I think I should for the host name, address is okay, host name is get host by address that we used, right? Get host by address, get host name. I think I can make use of this one. So what happens if I use this? Get address, if I use the address instead of I want to know what is this address, yeah, we'll get the IP. See, get host by name, and the name of the, if I know the name of the computer, then it will give you the IP address. So this is actually the logic behind getting devices into the network. So we can, once you know this IP address, you can just do anything. Now simply I pinged it, right? I just, which means I send some data. You see here, I send some data into that machine, and I got a response. So that machine actually responded to my communication. So this way, that response may be anything. Like suppose if I have some privileges, then it may be possible for me to access the audio device. It may be possible for me to access the video device or something like that. But first, let us know how to create a small web application so that we can reach to that particular machine. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to create a small Flask application by using Python. You see, I'm using Python here. Same Python I'll be using in order to create a small web application. This application will help me as and when somebody logs in. Whenever they log into this application, their address will be displayed in the browser, so that later that address can be used to manipulate any kind of device inside that machine, that given machine. So now what I'm going to do, I open my Flask app here. I assume that you know the basics or fundamentals of writing a Flask app. Flask is a micro framework which is used to create web applications, especially full stack applications, by using Python. and this is how we are just going to write the application. So what am I going to do here? I'll just try to, I have the same, so this is how I need to invoke the Flask package. From Flask import Flask request, something like that, and then I am going to import the subprocess and socket. The way which we did, I use the subprocess and also socket in my IDLE editor. I'm just going to use them in the Flask app. Now I am going to initialize the app by using this Flask command. This is how we do that. As I said again, I assume that you know some fundamental knowledge about writing web applications by using Flask micro framework. Now I'm just going to create a route, app route. This is actually the very basic route. I mean, I'm not going to, you can just give any name. This is actually the address of the address which we are going to input in the browser, and I'm going to add some logic to this route by defining a function. This is just a user function, just don't worry. Now the address is going to, this is very important thing. So in order to know the IP address of the client machine, we need to use a module called, it's not a module actually, it is a function or maybe a command which is available from the Flask package. Request remote address. There's a lot of documentation online. If you're not able to follow what I learned this by merely reading how to do this activity online. So today we can do anything by you can just go online and read how to. So this is actually one special function available from the command. I think this is not a command actually, it's a module request. The package inside which there is a module called request, and there are quite a few commands available from this module. One of the command is remote address, which helps us to find out the client's IP address. Now I am just going to use a particular context called try except. Try these commands, and if there is an error, accept that error. Now what happens, you can just remove these two commands, Python commands, and use these statements so that you can see what is the type of the error that we are going to get in the command prompt. Now I know the error, that this is called H error. If there is an error, accept it and just get the information into these two values. So now what I'm going to do, I am going to create a variable called hostname socket get host by address. And what is this address? This is the address of the, we don't need all these things. So what I do is I just keep this to, so here this is going to be very simple. Now what I'm doing is actually I'm creating a variable address and request remote address. What is this remote address? Whenever somebody log in to our application, their machine IP address is saved in this variable, and that variable is redirected to the same browser, the browser of the person who logs into our application. So what is our application? This is our application. This is a small, and this is actually a main function. So I'm telling the Python that assume that this is the main function and execute it as a module or something like a routine. Now how am I going to, I have quite a few video demonstrations as how to write the basic web applications using Flask. You can just go back to my video channel and refer. Now I'll go to the same, I think, yeah, this is the project directory. I just open my command prompt and then run this program. I think this is app, right? Yeah, Python app. Yeah, I think there is a typo in my, I think by mistake I have given. Now go back and now this time the server is started, and please be cautious, we have to start the server on 0.0.0.0. This is actually the universal address for the network. It's not a universal address, actually this is a common, I mean I can say this is the most reachable address within the network. So I have a small LAN network, so all these devices can reach to this network. We have the address is http://0.0.0.0. I mean 0:80. 80 is the port, which is a common port for all. This is the most commonly reachable address within the network. So that is why I use this app run host 0.0.0. Otherwise it will start on localhost. I don't want to start my application on localhost. I want to go for the very common available address in the localhost. Now just I think we started the server. Yes, we started the server. Now you don't need to do anything. Just go straight away to the browser, and there you just type localhost, because this is a common address, right? My local host must be able to reach. You see, this is the address of my browser, my machine, not the browser. So my machine, this is a loop back address. My client is in touch with this address. My machine is 127. This is a local address. Now what I'm going to do, I'll just bring, I also print this address here, print address, so that I will be, as and when somebody log into my application, this small server application, I should be able to see their address here, okay, their IP address here. Now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to just like I logged into this application is just returning whoever logs in their IP address. Now I'm just going to log in by using my mobile device. I don't know what is the IP address of, maybe 25 or something like that. I open the browser. Now the common address, you need to know one fundamental thing, that is, you should know what is the address of the router. This is the address of the router. This is my computer. So the server application is, running in the computer called 192.168.0.8. So this is actually address of the application, the device. Now I need to input that address into any other device. So I just go to my mobile phone, and then now I'm just going to input 192.168.0.8, okay, in my browser, and let me see what's going to happen. You see, now you got this is actually the IP address of my device, the mobile phone. My mobile phone IP address is 192.168.0.2. So this is what we were see here, 192.168.0.2 is reachable, something like that. Now I'm going to log into I have a tab connected in my local area network. It's a small dirty ICO. I unnecessarily bought this device without thinking much. I'm just going to open my browser. So I'm going to input this address called 192. Yeah, it is already there. I think you should have seen that. No. So what I do, 192.160 http://192.168.0.8. Now let's see, will we get this? I think something went wrong. I have to close, and I'll open the browser once again. Now I'll input 192. Yeah, come on. I don't know what happened. It's taking too long. I think my tab is not able to reach the server application, because I still see the progress bar is going on. Come on. That is what I said. It is a dirty 192 dot. Come on, go. It's not going. I unnecessarily bought this. I'll try to use one more. I'm trying to open my another tab. I have a Micromax tab connected within the same network. Let's see if I can log into this web application by using, come on, this is also slow. I think I failed to, still the progress bar is still on. I don't know, 192.168.0.8. Come on. It is also revolving. I was able to log in through my mobile phone, but both of the tabs are not working. Come on, I hate these devices.
Your phone cover is ready.
Don't make noise. Let me close my, yeah, they're all there. I don't know what's happening. See, 10. Now I think it released. All devices open. Something went wrong. Okay, now I think I confused you a lot, but now let me refresh this time. Let me see if they're all there. They logged in. Actually, see, all these devices are there. See how many times I logged in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 times I logged in with iCall laptop. I don't know what is this. iCall 6. There's another again. The switch. Now I'm going through I'm again logging in using my mobile phone. Come on, boss. 192.8. You see, you got a record. 192.160. So I got the response in my browser. 192.168.0.2. Now let me open my Micromax. I think I have to refresh, right? Yeah, you got the address, right? 192. This is actually the IP address of my Micromax tab. Now I'm going to log in using iCall. So this device actually is stuck my application. This time let me see what's going to happen. Oh, 166. Okay, so now this is open. Now yes, you are able to see 192.168. This is actually the IP address of my iCal tab. Like that, I have quite a few other devices living in my small LAN network. I have approximately some 3 mobile phones and 3 tabs and 3 laptops, like that, and there is a TV and kind of it's a smart TV. So this is how we can just know the IP addresses of the devices which are connected to. So how this information is coming to the terminal with the help of this application. So what is this application? This is a small web application to detect the IP addresses of the devices that are connected to one single network. So this way we can just pull the information of the device. As and when somebody logs into this small application, their IP address can be noted down with. I'll just try to change so that I come here. Hi, your IP address is address. Now I think my server is still on. Yeah, still on. It's already there. Okay. Let me refresh my application now and see. This is. It is still coming back to. I don't want it to print on the address. Now let me close this once and then refresh again so that I should be able to. Hi, your IP address is 127 dot something like that. Okay, this is for this video cast. Thanks for watching. Keep watching my stay tuned to new content, and don't forget to subscribe to my video channel. Thank you once again.